Are educational specialists failing students with disabilities? In today's educational landscape, the role of specialists in supporting students with disabilities is critical. However, many so-called educational specialists tasked with guiding students with special needs seem to lack a deep understanding of the very individuals they are meant to help. This issue raises important questions about the state of education for people with disabilities, particularly those with learning challenges like dyslexia. As a reporter who has interacted with a significant number of special needs educators, I have become increasingly concerned about their ability to truly support these students. Despite their credentials and titles, many appear to be ill-equipped to address the complexities of disabilities such as dyslexia, ADHD, and other learning challenges. What's more troubling is that these educators often fail to grasp even the most basic facts about what students with dyslexia need in order to thrive academically. The gap between theory and practice. One of the most glaring issues in the current system is the gap between what educational specialists are taught and what they practice. Many enter the field with an abundance of theoretical knowledge, having learned about various disabilities through textbooks and seminars. However, real-world application often reveals a disconnect between theory and practice. Specialists are expected to provide tailored strategies that address the unique needs of students with learning disabilities. Yet, many fall short of this goal. Their failure to employ effective methods, coupled with a rigid adherence to generic strategies, leaves students like those with dyslexia feeling unsupported and misunderstood. For instance, dyslexic students often require multisensory learning approaches that engage visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learning styles. They benefit from structured, explicit instruction in reading and writing, as well as assistive technologies that make learning more accessible. Unfortunately, many educators either overlook these needs or fail to implement them effectively. The impact on students. The consequences of these inadequacies are profound. When educators fail to provide the necessary support, students with disabilities can experience frustration, low self-esteem, and academic setbacks. For individuals with dyslexia, who already struggle with reading, writing, and processing information, these challenges can become even more pronounced when the right interventions are not in place. As a result, students who could otherwise excel are left behind. They often feel like they are to blame for their struggles, when in reality, the system has failed them. Their potential is overlooked, and their talents are often ignored because the proper teaching methods are not being utilized. The emotional toll can be heavy. Many students with dyslexia experience anxiety and a sense of isolation when their needs are not met. They may develop a fear of failure, withdrawing from activities they once enjoyed or avoiding academic challenges altogether. This is not the fault of the students, but a reflection of an education system that has not yet fully embraced the need for personalized, effective strategies for learners with disabilities. Are educational specialists themselves disabled? This leads to the uncomfortable question, are these educators themselves invisibly disabled in their ability to teach students with disabilities? While this may sound harsh, it underscores a broader issue. Many specialists are not fully prepared to meet the demands of students with complex learning needs. Despite their training, their failure to adapt to the real needs of students with dyslexia and other disabilities suggests a lack of understanding that borders on negligence. It is not enough to simply label students with terms like dyslexia and move on. True educational support requires a deep, nuanced understanding of how each student learns, as well as the flexibility to adjust teaching methods accordingly. Unfortunately, too many educators are content to follow one-size-fits-all approaches that ignore the individual needs of their students. Moving toward a solution. The solution to this issue lies in a more robust training system for educational specialists, one that emphasizes practical, hands-on experience with students who have a range of disabilities. Professional development programs must go beyond surface-level understanding and delve into the specific strategies that work for students with dyslexia and other learning challenges. Furthermore, there needs to be greater collaboration between specialists, parents, and students themselves. By listening to the voices of those directly affected, particularly the students, educators can better tailor their approaches and foster an environment where students with disabilities are empowered to succeed. In closing, it's time to acknowledge that the current system is not doing enough for students with disabilities, especially those with dyslexia. Many educational specialists may possess the credentials, but they lack the practical knowledge and sensitivity required to truly support these students. Without meaningful reform in how these specialists are trained and how they engage with their students, we will continue to fail some of the most vulnerable learners in our schools. As we move forward, it's crucial that we challenge the status quo and demand more from our educational system. Students with dyslexia, like all students, deserve an education that acknowledges their unique needs, respects their potential, and provides the tools they need to succeed.